All right, we are about to test possibly the most requested bullet of all for the 6.5 Grendel, and that is the 100 grain Nosler Partition. Guys, I usually pride myself in being able to find hard to get projectiles to reload. As you've seen in my 6.5 Grendel videos, I've pretty much been able to get a hold of and test everything except for this guy right here. The 100 grain Nosler Partition has long eluded me, and I was finally able to get my hands on this box. As you can see, it's old stock. I don't know how old. My guess is probably 20 years, give or take. But the day is finally here, and we're testing the 100 grain Nosler Partition. I've got 32 grains of accurate 2220 in PPU brass and a Remington 7.5 primer. We'll be doing a 50-yard water jug test. We'll get a 3-shot group. We'll do a 400-yard water barrel test so that we can test expansion at both close and long range. Looking forward to trying these bullets out. It pains me a little bit to be shooting these today at targets and water jugs instead of on an animal, because I don't know how long it's going to be before I can get my hands on some more of these, but you guys asked for it. Here it is. Looking forward to testing these out. All right, before I forget, many of you guys asked my rifle specs. This rifle here used to be an Alexander Arms Hunter. It had an 18-inch barrel on it, and ended up having problems with the Hunter upper. The barrel came loose from the barrel nut, and so I decided to redo the upper receiver. So this is a bit of a Frankenstein rifle. This is a Alexander Arms Hunter lower. It's got a 2-stage Geisley trigger, and for the upper I went with the Aero Precision M4, I believe, upper, and I have a Proof 20-inch stainless barrel by Proof Research, and I've got a EC tuner brake on the front. This rifle is very accurate, and I've been very happy with it, even though everything's kind of mix and match. The rifle tends to shoot lights out. I'm getting sub half-inch groups with my 120 grain Spear Gold dots, 127 grain LRX, and the 130 Terminal Ascent. They all shoot lights out, and I haven't found a bullet yet that shoots over 1 inch. Okay, let's get a chronograph reading of the 100 grain Nosler Partition. .2688. All right, so now we will do a group test of the 100 grain Nosler Partition. I'll be aiming for that target there on the right. So here is the 3-shot group at 100 yards with the 100 grain Nosler Partition. Group size measured 0.69 inches. I used 32 grains of accurate 2520 with PPU brass and a Remington 7.5 primer. Very good results. I'm happy with that. Okay, so I have 6 1-gallon jugs lined up. I'm going to go back to roughly 50 yards. And we'll see how these 100 grain Nosler Partitions perform. Okay, so we have got the blue barrel set up at 400 yards. and we'll see how these bullets. Okay, so we destroyed 3 jugs quite handily. 3 jugs very well split. Looks like we went into number 4. Possibly exited 4 and went into number 5. I'll have to take a look. We may have hit the back and poked a hole, but not quite went through. But I'll get to digging in these jugs and find the bullet. Okay, we have the barrel set up at 400 yards, and we'll be testing out these 100 grain Nosler partitions. So here's our 100 grain Nosler partition. On the left we have the 50-yard bullet that was recovered. There was a little bit of a lead nose left in there. It was a very flat lead pancake that was obviously separated from the core, but I ended up losing it while taking the removing the bullet from the jug. This penetrated into 5 jugs, which is actually quite impressive. I found it's very hard, especially in smaller calibers, to get a load that'll penetrate into 5 jugs. So this is a very good penetrator. It held together very well. You can see we shed the nose, but the base, there's still much of the base left because of that partition design. And overall, I think it did it very well at 50 yards. Here are the 2 bullets recovered from 400 yards. And again, there was some core jacket separation. If we take these out, you can see it expanded less than it did at 50 yards, but we still have very good expansion. And you can see where that partition is down in the bottom of the cup. And so even though we had the jacket core separation, this bullet still withheld quite a bit of weight. So weight retention is still pretty high. Expansion was good, and overall I think this bullet performed well. It is one I wouldn't hesitate to use for deer hunting, and it seems to be a good performer at all ranges. One thing I will admit, and it was similar with the 100 grain Nosler ballistic tip test that I did, I used the same load recipe, and I was hoping to get in that 2,800 foot per second range, and I was just shy of 2,700. So maybe if I play around with powders, I might be able to hit that 2,800. I don't know, but it was going slower than I had hoped it would. However, this bullet performed well, and it was actually quite accurate. We had a sub 3/4 inch group, and what more could you ask for with little to no load development? Overall, I think this bullet is an excellent choice in the 6.5 Grendel. If light bullets is your thing, I think this may be the light bullet to use if you can find it. That's the downside to a lot of these Nosler bullets, is they're hard to get your hands on. They perform well, but what good does it do you if you can't buy them? So if you have some, or if you happen to come across some and you want to load something for your 6.5 Grendel that'd work on deer, hogs, etc., I wouldn't hesitate to pick up some of these bullets and use them. Thank you all for watching the video, and take care.